Field. Oh boy. Okay, there's a few outbuildings here. It looks like I'm looking at a barn right now here at Lawrence Welk's birthplace and museum. There's a building out that way. I go this way. And there's a few other buildings. Oh, there's one building I passed, and then there's a couple of buildings over here. So let's find out what this is all about. In this area in September.
And there's a Facebook page and a website. The other thing is that there is a typeset print shop on the threshing grounds.
Yes.
That has some of the rarest typeset equipment, like old Edison stuff. This gentleman that is the conveyor.
This one's not.
So I just put, if you could read my handwriting.
Yep.
He's put together an amazing thing, and it's workable. So you can go in there and you can. He's always looking for volunteers to help set things up, print the paper out,
Cool.
with each letter individual, each
So
picture,
when you get there, just open
everything.
it
And
up.
he's got some of the first
Just don't let Casey and Kayla
man-powered
play with them.
automation. It's an amazing place.
I also do YouTube channel. Are you
Yeah.
okay with being on YouTube?
Absolutely,
So-
they are up there.
I can.
Yeah.
So I can go here and say, yeah, here she is.
Here we
Been
are.
talking. Okay.
So that I'm gonna put a phone number on here if you're looking for a place to camp between here
Yeah,
and Bismarck.
that was another thing you said is camping.
It is almost boondocking because not a lot of people camp there. There's no water, but there's electrical hookups.
Okay. Is there a fee to it also?
Usually about $10 a night
Oh,
during the week,
okay.
and $25 on the weekends.
Okay.
And then there's running water if you need it. You know, to fill up your tanks and
Oh,
stuff.
I'm set up for boondocking. So
Yeah.
I've got a solar panel up in front. That's what you saw in the front there, solar panel.
So no wonder I self-put it in like
And
we've got solar panels on our roof and we have.
And this is one of the 4 original buildings on the Homestead. Do you know what a summer kitchen is?
no, and I don't see anything as far as a kit. Well, that's a bread thing, or is that an oven?
So this would be an oven,
Is that an oven? Okay. Ah, okay.
and then it's a kerosene gravity-fed stove. So you would put your kerosene in there, and then it would follow along here. And these are your burners. You turn them up.
So it is a kitchen now. Cool.
So, but this one wouldn't have been here. They would have had a wood-burning stove or a coal stove, and it would have been over there where the desk is.
Okay. But
Unfortunately,
it's been remodeled, I'm sure. It looks like it's been remodeled.
right. The only thing original to this building will be the floor and the actual framing of the house, of the room. So the summer kitchen was made to do all your cooking, canning, bathing, things you don't want to do inside your home. You'll do it in this room instead.
I don't see a door to another room. So this, like, is it a one room here?
It's just a one room right
Okay.
here. Just one room right here.
Okay.
As for originality to the home or to the summer kitchen, this table here is. So here we are. We're in the entryway. Now, a couple cool things is I don't know if you noticed the outhouse outside.
No, I didn't.
All right,
Let me
take a
just
peek
kinda
at that.
Look at the outhouse. There it is. Okay.
So that is one of the other original buildings on the Homestead. There's 2 more. This home here is original, and as is the granary where everybody's heading over to.
And that's the summer kitchen. Summer kitchen, and this is a house
Yes.
we're going into now.
So this house was built in 1899.
Okay.
Ludwig and Christina Welk will immigrate from the Odessa Black Sea region of Russia. They will bring over Ludwig's brother, and 2 sisters will also come with. And this is actually their second house. Their first house, we don't know where it was. It was here. We don't know where it was. We don't know anything about it other than it no longer exists. And in 1899, they made this one.
Oh, okay.
So was it structural issues? Was it because we have a lot of kids? Things like that. The entire home is made out of the Basta bricks you see here,
Okay.
which is Basta bricks is just another word for sod house. It is mud, manure, straw, grass, everything. So inside here, this is what's called their winter kitchen.
Okay.
Now feel free to touch anything, move anything, whatever you would like to do.
Well, I can eat some apples, huh?
Absolutely. They would have used this only in the winter time.
Okay.
Because of the technology of the Basta bricks. You know, who would think that dirt and mud would make technology? But its sole purpose is to keep the house cool in the summer and warm in the winter. If it was warmer outside, we would feel that huge temperature difference when we come in from the
I was going to say, with that kind of a brick construction, it would be a lot cooler and stuff.
If you notice when even the doorways are rather thick, they're also, Basta bricks are all within the walls. The window wells as well, they're all very big. So the Welks were a very musical family. They were a family of 10. There were 4 boys and 4 girls, and a mom and a dad, Ludwig and Christina. Lawrence is number 6 in the line of children. Over there on the wall there is a picture of the family.
Okay.
And on mom's lap there is baby Lawrence. And we know that this picture was, because he was born in 1903, we know this picture was taken either in late 1903 or early 1904. But we just don't know when. Because he is small, but he's not infant. You know, he's not a newborn, but he's not a toddler either. So we know it has to be early 1904, late 1904.
So he learned his musical talents and stuff from his parents and stuff?
So Ludwig,
the families.
his father Ludwig would have played, would have brought over his accordion that was similar to something like this from Odessa. And his father was a musical man, very musical, talented.
Okay.
The oldest son was born in 1893, the same year they all immigrated here. That's John Welk.
Whoa.
A little scary. That's John Welk, and John is actually the most musical of all the Welk children.
Okay.
You would think Lawrence was,
Yeah.
but it wasn't Lawrence. John, you could hand him a violin, an accordion, a clarinet, any instrument, and he could make it sing. Lawrence, on the other hand, he could make it play, and he made money, you know, doing barn dances and stuff. John would also play weddings and such, but John didn't want to be a musician. John wanted to be a farmer. So where John would have made his money being a musician, what he wanted was to farm. Lawrence did not want to farm. He wanted to be a musician. So it's a complete opposite, you know.
Okay.
So Ludwig played the accordion, Christina played the plum organ, John could play anything. We assume that all the children had to have been musical at some point. They just don't really talk about all the other kids. So, over here.
So is it too early for me to ask when Lawrence left this area to go to where?
Lawrence left
California?
on his 21st birthday, and he'll leave here and he'll go to Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Okay.
He has $3 in his pocket, gets a ride into town, hops on the train, and $3 got him to Aberdeen. That's as far as he could go. From Aberdeen, when he got there, he had to move to the German side of town because he didn't speak English. At 21 years old, he was not English speaking at all. Maybe hello and goodbye, but you know, really they didn't speak any English. There's another picture on the wall over there that shows a very young Welk family. That is Christina, and the boy in the white shirt is John.
Okay.
And then it will be Anna Mary or Barbara. The tall one, the little girl standing next to John, is either in the black dress.
This little.
Is either Anna Mary or it's Barbara.
Okay.
Because those two were born in the same year.
Wow.
One was born in February, one was born in November. So.
And you said Lawrence was number 6?
Number 6. So he's the
So
little
he's
baby.
not. He's not
He's
in
not
here.
in that picture there. No.
Right. Okay.
But that is his mother and father, and their first 3 children. They were not born in this home. The second 4 children will be born in the home.
Okay.
Okay. So then in here, we show a bit of their religious side. Again, this photo is the same one that's on the wall over there, We have Ludwig's mother and father, and they were over in Russia.
Okay.
And they are John and Mary Welk. So in this room, we show you their religious side. They were a very Catholic family.
Okay, I was just gonna ask, okay.
It would take the most horrific snowstorm to keep them from making it to church. Everything would have to be, you know, doom and gloom at that point. Otherwise, they were making their way there no matter what.
Wow.
So, and then this is the end of the house. You can walk in that room if you'd like to. The 2 beds are original to the homestead.
They had how many kids in this one?
They had 8 children.
8 children, 9, 10 people in this.
10
little...
people in this little home.
Gee.
So, my favorite question to ask people is, now that you've seen the entire home, where do you think everybody slept? Now, okay,
I would
wait.
think Mom and Dad would be here,
I'm
and
gonna
everybody
change,
else would be in there.
I'm gonna change the weather too. It's summertime now. It's beautiful out.
Yeah.
We could all sleep outside if we wanted to. Let's make it the dead of winter. It's superbly cold, -30 out. Where is everybody gonna sleep? Okay.
By the fireplace here.
By the fireplace?
Stove, yeah.
Okay. So, Mom and Dad will obviously sleep on the bed that's over there.
Yeah.
Little Eva was born in 1909. That's Lawrence's youngest sister. She'll have slept on this bed here. In fact, she ends up becoming her parents' caretaker. She never gets married. She never has any children. She'll take care of her parents until they die. And then she'll move down to Aberdeen by her brother, John. So, I gave you a place for 3 people. Over here in this room, there is the hide-a-bed that's right there.
Oh, I see it. Yep.
So the 3 other girls would have slept there. Unfortunately, the boys, now it's the dead of winter. The boys, on the other hand, had to sleep upstairs.
Oh.
While you were walking around this home, did you find the stairs?
No.
Do you know where they are?
I'll have to walk around some more, but no, I don't.
They're outside.
Oh, they are. Okay.
So not
So
only
dead of
do
winter,
they have to
go
sleep upstairs and everybody else is down here, it gets even better.
Oh.
So we'll go back into this room. You see this hole in the ceiling?
Yes.
It's a very important hole.
That keeps the heat going up.
That
in
is their sole source of heat for the upstairs.
Wow.
So this fire here would then heat the upstairs,
Heat the upstairs.
that little hole. But it gets even, how can it get better?
No.
Let me tell you.
Wait, there's more.
But wait, it's like an infomercial. So the first more than half from the end of that wall all the way to here is the first part of the upstairs. The boys' room is the length and width of this room, and it comes to a peak. So, I mean, you really don't have a lot of space. Their room was insulated really nicely, painted, nice floor. This half of the house upstairs, very primitive looking, not really well done, because that was their cold storage.
Oh, okay.
So their sausages, their meats, their butchering, everything would be hanging from hooks.
Okay.
So now imagine this, okay? You're one of the boys. You're gonna have brought your blanket down for overnight, you know, from the nighttime. In the morning, you probably brought your blanket down. So you have it maybe stowed away somewhere. You're gonna warm up by the fire. Then you're gonna quickly run outside, up the stairs, across the meat that, you know, there. Don't run straight in because the chimney is right there. And you have to jump into bed with your 3 other brothers. And pray to God that you don't sleep by the one that just mucked all the yucky stuff from the barn. Because showers
They
weren't
don't
a
take
thing.
a shower every day?
Nope. They might bathe once a week, you know, things like that. So that's where the boys sleep.
Wow. Wow.
Another thing that's pretty cool is, yes, you see electricity in here now, but electricity wasn't brought into the homestead until the 50s. 1955-ish. Michael Welk, who is the brother under Lawrence, he will inherit the homestead from his parents, and he will raise his family here. His wife and him will have 4 children. 2 of them are still living, and they live in the area. They now both live in Strasbourg. Evelyn and Edna, and they were the ones who restored the homestead to what we see today. In 2015, they sold the property to the state where it is manicured. Everything else that you see, like the farmland you drove through, that is still owned by the Welk family.
Oh, okay.
And still farmed today by them.
By them, okay. They probably contracted out or something. I don't.
So I believe
imagine they
the
would do
state
it
has
personally.
this for like 99 years or something. You know, something of that nature. The son of Edna, so it would be Lawrence's nephew, great nephew, farms the land. So Ludwig and Christina's great great grandson.
Okay.
Still farms, and they live in the area. There's a lot of them that live in the area. I mean, there were 8 kids.
Yeah, guess so.
A bunch of them stayed around here. A bunch of them left. You know, so, and then, you know, what happens? Everybody multiplies, and there's just more and more Welk relatives out there. So electricity gets brought here. Michael will bring it in the 50s. Unfortunately, his wife dies young. She gets some form of cancer and she'll pass away. So she never got to see electricity.
Oh.
And the electricity that was brought in was only enough to run a radio and a refrigerator. So it's pretty cool that way. To this day, there is still no running water on the homestead. Yeah.
So they went down to, there was a lake.
They
out
had
there.
wells. They had about 7 wells on the farm.
Okay.
So the water was always there. I'll talk about that when we get out there. I don't know how well you'll be able to hear it, but I'll tell you about it now if you like.
Sure.
The water that's out there has always been there. In the Welk's time here on the homestead, it dried up 3 times. When that happens, your grass will grow. You cut it down and you have more hay for your animals, or you could seed it. In my almost 19 years here in North Dakota, I've seen it dry up once. And by dry up, there was just one tiny little itty bitty baby puddle right in the center. So, but then it rains again. It's not spring driven. It's not
I was gonna say, it sounds
man-made.
like it's all rain.
It's rain and snow runoff.
Okay.
That's what we have. So.
Wow.
That creates a lot of the water you're finding. If you drive around here, you'll find there's a lot of little lakes,
a lot
ponds,
of little
and
lakes I've been driving around. Yeah.
yeah. So
Mostly because of snow runoff and rain.
yep.
Okay.
So and then that lake isn't deep enough to take a boat on, but you can take a kayak on it, or a small, like a canoe or a small little boat. There are fish in there. Unfortunately, when it's a hard winter and it freezes solid, there's total kill. It's not very deep. It's like 12 feet at its deepest point.
Okay.
So, any questions on the home?
So I imagine they have to restock the lake if it's,
Yeah,
if
they do.
they're
And
all
the
dead.
only fish that survive in there is northern pike.
Okay.
So if you've ever
Yeah,
seen one of those, they're kind of a scary looking fish because they have teeth. Here's our blacksmith shop. Nothing in here is original to the homestead. This here is just a tribute to Ludwig Welk. He was a blacksmith by trade. And those 2 iron crosses you see there were made by a blacksmith in Cullum, North Dakota. He made 2 replicas of different crosses that you'll find in the St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church Cemetery. And then 3 times a summer, with our forge here, we have 2 blacksmiths. One's from Bismarck and one's from Minot. And they come out and they will forge things. Recently we redid our doors, and they have been trying to create handles for us. Well, this last time they made a little one. So I've asked them very kindly, would you please just make one that matches the other ones? Just one, I don't care which one, just pick one. They'll also make things like a hook. This one has a nail already built into it. So you just hammer it into the wall and you have a hook for whatever.
So the door handle will be on a door that you said that matches a door handle.
So-
You want to match the rest of them, but is it to match the one that's already there?
Well, we don't have any door handles on these doors here.
Oh, okay.
So they've made 3 different kinds because they're not happy with the first one. This was the first one. This was the second one. This is the newest one. So we would just like them to make one more that looks like 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
And
But
we'll
you're
just
not
use
pick-
them.
you're not
We
picking-
don't care. Just make a door handle.
Okay.
So Ludwig was a blacksmith by trade. So what would happen is, say I'm a carpenter and you're Ludwig and you're a blacksmith, and your wife needs a new cabinet, or your daughter is getting married and she needs a dresser or something of some sort made. We'll kind of trade off. So I really need a new wagon wheel set. So to give you, fair trade, you're going to make me a set of wheels. I'm going to give you a cabinet of some sort or whatever. They
Trade-off.
barter and trade
Barter.
all the time.
Oh.
If somebody had passed away, he could potentially make them an iron cross. He was just that good at being a blacksmith. So things always need to be made.
Wow.
Because out here on the homestead, if you didn't build it or make it or grow it, you didn't need it. Because you weren't likely to go to the store. So the nearest store for them was in Eureka, South Dakota, which is about an hour this day and age by car. Back then, not
Horse
so
and
much.
buggy a little bit longer, I guess, huh?
It's same
A day-
distance,
a
just
day
a little
ride.
bit, a little harder on
Probably.
them. So Eureka, South Dakota is where they would sell all their grain, go get all their provisions and stuff. So all this siding that you see on the house would not have existed here in Strasburg. They would have had to have gone down to Eureka and purchase it down there from a lumber yard down there.
And there's no trees to make it here either, because if
Nope.
you have saws and stuff, you could make it. but
And
you
actually,
don't
all
have
the
tree
trees
that's
you
big
see
enough.
here, the shelter belt you see here, the evergreen, those were only planted in 1989.
Oh.
So the cottonwoods are what was planted in Ludwig and Christina's time. The thing with the cottonwood is they're not a very dense wood. Fort Mandan's made out of cottonwoods, and the first time it caught on fire, they built it again with cottonwoods. They don't learn lessons very easily. So that. Otherwise, usually in here in the granary, we have a lot of information up on the walls. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Having fun? Yeah? Oh, I like your old man looking.
Yeah.
It's my dad.
Looks cool.
And his dad is an old man, so that's perfect.
So on the walls here, it gives you a lot of information of how Germans from Russia came to be. Starts with Catherine the Great and such. Goes to Alexander the First, her grandson, and then goes on to Alexander the Second. Just a lot of
Amazing.
pictures and stuff on the wall here if you'd like to walk around and.
I imagine that TV there wasn't here at the time, was it?
No, unfortunately that's not time period accurate, nor are these people. Mallory might
You've never
be.
seen me in my costume. Not even
We
my
do
school.
dress up in
Oh, you
costumes.
do, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually on Sundays we do, but because of the heat we kind of,
Skipped it today.
yeah. So.
That's. This is the buggy house.
This is the back wall to the granary. The pictures on the wall are the homestead before restoration began.
Oh, okay.
So when Michael Welk will retire off the homestead in the late 60s, no one ever lives out here again. So only 2 generations of Welks ever lived here. Because by the time he retired, his 4 children already had their homes and they were going to just come here.
So when they restored it, they did it from their home and they came in
Evelyn and Edna, his daughters, decided they wanted to rehab everything here, make it better. All that information is found on the wall there. Their families came together and just worked, because that's what it looked like to what you see today. In 2015, Edna and Evelyn, they're getting up there in age, they're in their 90s and 80s, and they decided there was so much more work that needed to still be done that they were unable to do. There was never so much electricity on the whole farm before. on the.
So they moved it from where, did you say? Or did you say? Did you
No,
say
I don't.
where they
I
moved
don't
it?
know where they moved it from, but they moved it here. Can you imagine this coming down the road?
No.
And not in the 50s. Like nowadays, I could see it,
Yeah.
but not in the 50s.
Yeah, back in the 50s, no, I don't think, yeah. Although
So-
there wasn't as much traffic, right?
Yeah. On the right-hand side is the cement floor. Perfect for milking cows. If you know anything about cattle and dairy barns, no? So you need to have a solid floor to clean. So cement is way easier to clean than the floor on the left, which is wooden.
Okay.
That is meant for stabling your animals. So you have your horses stabled there. It's easier on their feet. Horses can't stand on cement for forever, you know, but they might stand in here overnight.
Okay.
The entire loft and all these new beams that you see here is due to this NDSU project of that poster over there. They came to try to redo the loft and save the barn. Unfortunately, when doing that, they had to install, I call it OSHA certified stairs.
Uh-huh.
They don't belong there. The real stairs are over here.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
when they redid the loft for safety reasons, they closed up all the feed holes that would have been in the ceiling here. There would have been a hole for you to climb straight up. Over all the animals here, there would be feed holes for you to drop their feed right down to them. They're all closed up now. And again, unfortunately, in my 3 years I've been working here on the homestead, the barn is in danger of falling.
Oh.
Its north wall is completely kind of off its foundation, which is why we don't go any farther than
Right here.
where we're at. Its heat thing is on the other
this?
side.
Okay. What is this thing? What is this thing called? That was my test for today,
Yes.
and I called it. You gotta put it on the YouTube channel first. Right. Put down your comment in the bottom, and I'm waiting for you to put the comment on the bottom before I say what I think it is. And you know, I think I thought of this because I watch a YouTube channel of a guy off grid, and he's been raising chickens, and he purchased this hatchery.
Absolutely.
It's an electric kind of thing, and when I saw how small that is, and that there's a little wire stuff there, mesh, I guess you'd call it. It just kind of a wild guess. Oh, look at there, down there, chickens. Didn't look that low. Okay.
Most people miss the chickens.
Chicken hatchery.